All right. I am in my car, in my garage. I just got back from Prayer Works. It is later in the day, so I only had one person come in, and then security came in. And it was actually the security officer. I met him before. We started talking, and he was telling me how he had a near death experience a couple of times, and he's a veteran, and how he suffers from post traumatic stress disorder, and how sometimes it's hard for him to deal with some of the emotions and memories and even dreams that come up for him. And, of course, I was like, well, you're here. I said, you can, pray about it. And I said, and I know that men think that crying is like a weakness, but sometimes, even if you're alone, we have a room there that you could be alone in. And I was like, even if you're alone in the room upstairs, I was like, you can come during your time off and yell at God or just cry out to him and let him know, that you no longer want to remember those things. You want them released. Um, anything that comes to you, if you need to cry about it. And he said something that really hit a nerve with me is he's married. And he said that he hasn't cried in a very long time. And anytime he expresses an emotion that isn't happiness, him and his wife bicker. And if he were to cry, that she would somehow, see that as a weakness or use it against him in some way. And listen, if you have a husband, a boyfriend, a brother, a dad, and you know that they're going through something, check on them, pray for them, and allow them to cry. I literally, when I was done talking with this gentleman, I texted my husband and let him know that, if he is feeling sad, if he's feeling hurt, that he can cry and I'll be there for him. I just really think that us women need to understand that just because our male people in our life aren't expressively crying out to us doesn't mean that they aren't feeling pain. And as women, we need to be supportive and okay with the males in our life showing these emotions. It's very important. And he was talking to me about his experience in the military, and I got a call. Terrence Turner, I'm calling you out right now. He had FaceTimed me. I just got a FaceTime call from him randomly, and I got to talk to him. And I love you, Terrence, so much. But I could see that there was sadness in your eyes. And anytime you need to call me or anything, you let me know. And especially since the man I was talking to is a military veteran, and I can only imagine some of the things you've seen and had to deal with. And I'm always going to try to point people in the direction of God, because at the end of the day, when you have nothing, when you don't have your family to lean on or friends to lean on or spouse or partner to lean on, when you don't have a church to go to, when you don't have a house, when you don't have a car, it may seem crazy, but God's there. And the reason why I have such strong faith in the Lord, and I don't care who believes me, and I'm comfortable walking alone, is because, well, I had nothing. I went through a life where I had to be dependent on the Lord for my stability, and He's preserved my mind and my heart so that way I wouldn't have to go through life feeling alone. that low depression, that low sadness. And Terrence, you've been my friend throughout all of high school, and your spirit has always been up. And I want it to remain up, but up in a way that your heart beats because it wants to be here. My friend told me his mom passed away and my husband lost his mom, and these are such influential women in our lives. And if you have to cry because you miss her, that goes to my husband too. Men in general. If you miss your mom, if you miss your sister, if you miss your whoever, I just want to give you permission to just cry, to cry out to God in sadness and anger. And just let that emotion out so that way you can be open and free to receive the love that He's going to provide for you. This is not about a Bible verse. This is just really this man really made me think about how he didn't feel safe to cry at home because he didn't want to deal with the stress of having to deal with his wife's mood. Us women have to be in control of our emotions so that way when our husbands need us, we can be there for them. 7 days a week we're allowed to act like a monster and be emotional and ask for their help and support. We have to be that for our men. Amen. Bye, guys.